Coming up, 49ers winners and losers against the Chargers. But first, we're almost at 40,000 subscribers here on the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. So if you want the best and most entertaining 49ers news and rumors, hit that red subscribe button down below. Happy Monday, Niner gang. Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Senior. Hit me up on Twitter and Instagram to talk all things 49ers at Chase_Senior. Today's show, where we take a look at those winners and losers, is presented by Manscaped. Head to manscaped.com/49ers. Enter the promo code 49ers. You get 20% off and free shipping on the best men's grooming products. Preseason week 2 in the books, so coming up we're going to take a look at some 49ers winners and losers against the Chargers. 49ers able to even up that record at 1-1 after the 15-10 victory. Trey Lance able to overcome a slow start and finish strong. Jimmy Garoppolo only played one drive. Nate Sudfeld somehow looked worse than Josh Rosen, and the 49ers defensive front was getting after it, coming through with 5 sacks as an entire defense on the night. So let's get to some 49ers winners before we get to some 49ers losers. Got to start off with Trey Lance. I think he's a clear winner after this performance against the Chargers, and it's because of how he overcame that rocky start when he was inaccurate and somewhat indecisive in the pocket, hesitant to pull the trigger. But as he warmed up, as the game wore on, I thought Trey Lance played better and better, and that scoring touchdown drive right before the half with under a minute to go, absolutely glorious for a rookie quarterback to pull that off. His stats for the night, 8 of 14 with, again, a couple of drop passes. That continues to be an issue. 102 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Quarterback rating of 89.9. I see so many people on social media saying, Trey Lance is so raw. He doesn't look ready to play. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. We're talking about a quarterback prospect who was 20 years old when the 49ers drafted him, only played 1 game in a COVID-shortened season last year, and attempted only around 300 passes throughout his collegiate career at North Dakota State playing FCS football. But the skill set, the athleticism, tantalizing qualities, and that's what you're looking for in the preseason. You're looking for that potential. You're looking for that upside, and Trey Lance has displayed that in spurts against the Chiefs and now against the Chargers. The bounce back was really impressive, and sometimes rookie quarterbacks, when they get off to an uneven start, their confidence is shattered, they fold, they crumble, and they're done for the rest of the night. What did Trey Lance do? Instead, he responded to the adversity, which is what some of the better quarterbacks across the National Football League do. And when you're evaluating a young quarterback prospect who just turned 21 years old, you want to see how he's able to overcome his shortcomings as well as his inconsistencies. And I thought Trey Lance played really, really well. That drive before halftime, that is big boy-ish. Keeping it a buck here. Trey Lance able to march the Niners 75 yards down the field in less than a minute to score a touchdown, a big play to Trent Sherfield, a great quick read, flick of the wrist, dime to Mohamed Sanu for the touchdown. Analytics don't tell the entire story. And guys from Pro Football Focus are tweeting out this morning that Trey Lance has thrown interceptable passes, which he has because he's been aggressive, and that he's gotten sacked 4 times. And analytics show that Trey Lance hasn't played well. The eye test tells you otherwise. You saw last night escapability, arm strength, and athletic prowess that's absolutely ridiculous, and he was able to overcome what was a sluggish start to finish really strong in an impressive fashion. Analytics doesn't tell you that story, and I'm somebody who actually likes analytics. Could you be comfy, and would you be comfortable with starting Trey Lance in week 1? Because I talk about him being somewhat raw. But can he start week 1? Let me know if you're comfortable with it if you're in the shoes of Kyle Shanahan. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Next 49ers winner. It's the 49ers defense and that defensive front. 49ers defense compiled 5 sacks on the night, and they were penetrating the Chargers offensive line throughout the evening in a really dominating way. Even making way for a safety on the night, too, to break that scoreless tie from 0-0 to 2-zip as we were looking at a baseball score there for a little while. All of these players on the Niners defense under DeMeco Ryans, whose defense has been aggressive in these first 2 preseason games, recorded a sack. Contavious Street, Jordan Willis, Eric Armstead, Samson Ebukam, as well as Kai Nasua. And that production, that dominance, came without Nick Bosa, without Dee Ford, without Javon Kinlaw. All of those guys are studs along the defensive line, and I'm thinking this 49ers defense, led by that dominant front, has the potential, with the depth, with the top-end talent, with even the skilled backups, can be one of the best in the National Football League here in 2021. Also, Jared Maiden can play. That interception, that was a pick six, but got called back because of that penalty. I thought he showed great instincts in jumping after that football, and he did it against a longtime backup in Chase Daniel. Really good play there. Should have been a pick six if it wasn't for the illegal block on the return. Do you think the 49ers defensive line is the best in the NFL? I was trying to go to bed last night thinking of some other defensive fronts in the NFL that were better than the Niners. I couldn't come up with one because of all those reasons that I mentioned. Type 1 for it. Yes, they're the best. Type 2 for no. Get your votes in the comment section. That 49ers defensive front was attacking the ball all night. If you want to attack your ball hairs, you can do so with Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/49ers. Enter the promo code 49ers. Get 20% off and free shipping on the best men's grooming products, including the Lawnmower 4.0, which is versatile just like that Niners D-line. 4 interchangeable blades, a battery life that lasts an eternity. If you drop that thing in the toilet or if it gets wet, no worries at all. It's indestructible like, say, I don't know, Fred Warner, because he hasn't missed a game his entire career. So once again, manscaped.com/49ers. Enter the promo code 49ers, and you get 20% off and free shipping on the best men's grooming products, including the men's grooming products that your 49ers use. Last Niner winner to get to, Trent Sherfield. He continues to prove himself as a big playmaker in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Week 1 of the preseason against the Chiefs, he gets loose for an 80-yard touchdown on that dime from Trey Lance. And against the Chargers in Week 2, Trent Sherfield with another big play, which was able to spring the Niners' first touchdown drive, that aforementioned drive right before the half, on that 41-yard nice touch pass from Trey Lance. Trent Sherfield has become big play Trent, and this has been a consistent theme in training camp, and that is translated into the preseason. And I think Trent Sherfield, with the way that he runs with the football in his hands, with his route running, because he also contributes on special teams, he's the most skilled wide receiver on this roster after Deebo Samuel and Brandon Aiyuk. You would bet on the upside right now of Trent Sherfield over a journeyman and a longtime veteran who's had a very successful career in Mohamed Sanu. But that's a compliment to how Sherfield has been playing in this preseason as well as in the training camp. And I think he's a stud, and I think he's going to end up being the number 3 option at wideout within this receiving core. Nobody could have predicted that at the start of training camp. Your one-word reaction to Sherfield's emergence, get it into the comments section right now. For me, steal. Because Trent Sherfield on that contract, they're not paying him anything. I think he's going to be able to contribute. He's been a steal. 49ers losers now. We'll go through these somewhat quickly. Jimmy Garoppolo, only because Kyle Shanahan said prior to the game that the plan was for him to play a quarter, maybe even a quarter and a half. Jimmy Garoppolo lasted 1 drive, and that lone drive ended in an interception that I didn't think was his fault. Look, this is the National Football League. I understand that wasn't the most perfect ball to Brandon Aiyuk, but Deebo Samuel and Brandon Aiyuk both had passes thrown their way that tipped off their hands and resulted in interceptions. And for Jimmy G, he just didn't get to play enough, 3 of 6, 15 yards, that interception, and hasn't really done anything throughout training camp in the preseason to separate himself from Trey Lance. Kyle Shanahan saying after the game he's not ready to list or name a starting quarterback. You know why that's the case? And you know why Shanahan hasn't pinpointed Jimmy G as the starter? Because he's been just good, not great, in training camp in the preseason and hasn't really fended off Trey Lance all that much. Week 1 starter. Get into your crystal ball. Predict it for us right now. I really am interested to see where you guys stand on this. Type JG for Jimmy Garoppolo, TL for Trey Lance. Another 49ers loser. They're receivers. Because all throughout these practices, in the training camp sessions, joint practices, as well as in preseason games, the receivers have continued to drop the football, which is absolutely inexcusable when it's happening from some relied upon weapons who have the ability to be some of the more dynamic wide receivers across the NFL. Look, Brandon Aiyuk Deebo Samuel are very, very skilled wide receivers, but drops with those premier players continue to plague this offense. And in an instance last night where you turn the football over 2 times in the first half, if that translates to the regular season, you're not going to win a lot of games when you turn it over that much. Those were catchable balls, and this is the National Football League. Those guys, they were paid and drafted upon to make plays like that, and they haven't been making them to the highest of their abilities. Yes, you have to adjust to Trey Lance's arm. It's a rocket. It's a bazooka. It's a rocket launcher. It's much different, and Trey Lance has so much more zip on his ball than a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo. So that adjustment period is what the preseason is for. But still, got to be better. Are you concerned with the drops, Niner gang? Type W for worried, type E for it's way too early. They are adjusting to the arm strength of Trey Lance. Get those votes in right now. Last loser, the running backs. And it's not because they've been playing poorly. It's because Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are going to have very difficult decisions to make as to which running backs to keep on this roster. Trey Sermon didn't play last night, nor did Raheem Mostert. Jeff Wilson is on PUP. Elijah Mitchell out for the next couple of weeks. So JaMycal Hasty and Wayne Gallman toted the rock all night. How about Hasty getting 19 carries in a preseason game, look good running with authority and physicality for 58 yards, and then Wayne Gallman, 15 carries for 72 yards, also a downhill-looking running back on this roster. So you're looking at legitimately 6 guys who you could keep. I'm thinking Elijah Mitchell, more going to be a PUP IR candidate to put on the practice squad. Then you might be able to get away with keeping all of those aforementioned guys. Obviously, Wilson on PUP as well, so that helps you out a little bit. But man, these running backs showing out, and Kyle Shanahan and this staff, tremendous job at developing those backs in the backfield. Which running back do you think will get cut, if a cut is made? Before we get out of here, leave me a name. Is it going to be Gallman? Is it going to be Hasty? Some of the other guys, let me know.